Hi, I'm Phil Hall and welcome to this review of the Alpha A77. The Alpha A77 is Sony's first enthusiast-focused DSLR in over 4 years, since the last A700. It's changed quite a bit. It employs Sony's translucent mirror technology, so out goes the mirror and pentaprism of a traditional DSLR, and in comes a fixed semi-translucent mirror. So how it works is about 2/3 of the light coming through the lens travels through the mirror to the sensor, with the rest bounced up to the AF sensor. The benefit of this is that autofocus can remain in action even when the shot is fired. On a traditional DSLR, the mirror is raised and AF interrupted very briefly when the shutter is triggered. Therefore, an SLT's burst frame rate can also be improved, often drastically, as in the case of the Alpha A77s, which is at 12 frames per second continuous shooting. This does mean, though, that the optical viewfinder of a traditional DSLR is sacrificed and replaced by an electronic EVF. And this is one of the big question marks over the Alpha A77, is that electronic viewfinder. I have to say, it's very good. It's got the highest resolution of any electronic viewfinder we've ever seen at 2.4 million dots, and it's crystal clear in use. It's probably not as good as an optical viewfinder, but day-to-day use, you soon forget that you're using an EVF. So on top of the EVF, some other big changes have taken place in the new A77. The main one being the 24.3 megapixel APS-C size sensor, which has eclipsed everything else in the competition as far as resolution goes. But what's the image quality like? Well, let's take a closer look. Detail and sharpness are both excellent from this new chip, but it's worth bearing in mind that you won't see a massive leap in resolving power compared to results from a 12, 16 or 18 megapixel chip. With this kind of pixel count, image noise at higher ISOs is always a concern, but the Alpha 77 performs very well. From the base of ISO to 3200, results display very minimal levels of image noise. As you'd expect, above that sensitivity, noise creeps in and becomes more prominent. ISO 12800 and 16000 should only really be used as a last resort. As we mentioned before, the Alpha A77 can achieve an impressive 12 frames per second continuous shooting, and married to that is a sophisticated 19-point phase detect AF system. So while the ultimate AF point count may not sound as impressive as the competition from Nikon and Canon, it performed very well. We tried out in some rugby situations and the tracking was very good, which is helped in part with the SLT technology. It's really quick and very precise at focusing. At the back of the Alpha A77 is a really ingenious flip-out screen. It can be pulled outwards and angled through a range of positions for different shooting situations. Because the Alpha A77 uses this SLT technology, while using live view you can use the Alpha's A77's 19-point phase detect system rather than the slower contrast detect systems that are found in a lot of cameras like this. That also means you can use the fast phase detect system during video recording as well, and the Alpha A77 can shoot video at full 1080p. The rest of the A77 is constructed from tough magnesium, but most of the exterior is coated in high impact plastic with a high-end splatter effect. Don't be put off by the plastic skin of the Alpha 77. While metal would have been preferred, it still feels very solid in the hand, with key buttons and controls also protected from dust and moisture. As you'd expect from a camera aimed more towards the enthusiast, the A77 is sprinkled with quick access controls, meaning less time needs to be spent in the main menu of the camera. The Sony Alpha A77 is a fantastic piece of kit, dripping with features to keep the enthusiast photographer happy. The OLED EVF is the best example we've seen on a camera, allowing you to just get on and shoot. At times you'll miss an optical viewfinder, but only rarely, and would urge you to try it before making any negative assumptions. Image quality from the 24.3 megapixel sensor is excellent. It can't quite match the Nikon D7000 or Canon 7D at the higher ISO levels, but it's fairly close and excels in detail and tonal range over its rivals. Sony's uncompromising approach to the Alpha A77 means it matches some excellent competition and beats them in some areas too. That's why we've given the Alpha A77 a What Digital Gold Award and a score of 92%.